Hey, what's going on, everybody? Movie Phantom here, and of course it's Monday, and we've got some horror news. Not gonna lie, Phantom's got a little bit of sunburn going on right now. Because we got a nice little t-shirt underneath this hoodie. It's rubbing me raw right now. Sucks. Fuck you, sunburn, that's what I'm saying. Alright, well, and right off the top, let me just go ahead and clarify this real quick. I don't know what the deal is on YouTube right now, but some notifications I have not been receiving. I went to go check for tomorrow's top 3, and for whatever reason, I'm going through my video thing, and I noticed I had more responses than I thought I had, which is fucking awesome. Thank you guys. But yeah, I was never notified about it, so I had no idea. So I went back and I started going through, and I noticed I had some questions that people asked that I did not get to at all. Are you fucking kidding me? It's like I got elephants living upstairs. In fact, we do have elephants living upstairs. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so if anybody who threw some questions out there that I didn't get to last week or maybe even the previous week, hey, the Phantom apologizes. Like I said, I just didn't get the notification and I didn't check the old videos. But, hey, the Phantom, he caught his mistake, so hopefully... Are you fucking kidding me? I'm just going to go Chris Benoit on everybody upstairs. I swear to God. Anyways, so, yeah. I will get your questions. I promise you this Wednesday on the viewer comments. So yeah, let's jump into the news, shall we? Let me roll my sleeves up. Fuck me. Okay. Fucking hurts worse. Okay, one sleeve up, one sleeve down. We're going to go with right off the bat, not really horror at all, but it's something that horror fans all love anyways. It's like on the fringe. Boondock Saints television show coming up, which I'm all for. Anything to get Troy Duffy a job, I guess. I was uber excited at first until I found out that the two lead, Norman Reedus and Sean Patrick Flannery, will not be returning as themselves. That they're going to be they possibly will be on, at least when I read it, as it's a possible EPs, executive producers. So we don't know if they're actually going to be, but we know for a fact they won't star in it. I don't know. That kind of takes a bit of the bite out of it for me because I don't know. Like I'd much rather see Boondock Saints 3 than this TV show with a totally different group or whatever. So I don't know, but still curious to see what it's going to be like. So we'll check it out. We'll check it out. And The Rock announced last week he still wants John Carpenter on board in some capacity, whether he's producing or maybe even co-writing a script or whatever he wants. And that to me is even better. Like I don't know, like I know there's a lot of people right now. Like I've been checking out everybody else's videos and reading blogs and everything, and people are just like straight up fucking pissed that The Rock is going to be doing a Big Trouble in China. And I'm one of the few who, don't get me wrong, I'm usually on that fuck remake bandwagon, but I'm in. I am totally in right now. Like, I guess this is awesome news. So, but yeah, and so the fact that he's, we've already stated last time that he's already a huge fan. The fact that I believe that, he's producing himself, so I mean, clearly he has enough, confidence that, he can actually, do this material justice. And, the fact that he wants to bring old Carpenter in on it. Hey, that's awesome right there. So I really hope he does. So, for anybody down there in Florida, Universal Studios does their Halloween Horror Nights. Well, I guess they've always had like a Nightmare on Elm Street. They've always had a Friday the 13th area, and now they're fucking combining them, baby, for a Freddy versus Jason horror attraction. That's just awesome. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm such a horror geek that it don't matter what the fuck. I could have just done a prom night area. I would have been going cool with it. But it's two of the icons, It's fucking, Freddy and it's fucking Jason. But the cool thing is it's a different outcome each time you go through it. So maybe one time you go through it, Freddy wins it. Maybe the other time it's Jason. You never know. And I like that element to it. I really think that's kind of cool. So this ain't really news, but I'm kind of excited for it. Like, it's weird when it comes to horror TV, or just TV in general, there's not really a whole lot of shows I stay up with. For a while, with the exception of course, Pretty Little Liars, which, get your Snickers out of the way now. But like Gotham, I stuck with Gotham for a while, but the thing is, I have to be in a certain mood to watch something. Like, I really have to be, like, I don't know, in the right mind frame. So when Monday night at 8 o'clock rolls around and I'm not really in the mood to watch Gotham, I was forcing myself to just because of, like, I don't want to get, you know, left behind. And, of course, you know, we've got Netflix now, so we've just been marathon watching, you know, different shows or whatever. So I decided on a lot of these shows, I'm just going to wait. Like, I'm just going to hold out the ones I want to watch and just wait until, A, the show's fucking completed. Because that's another thing I hate is I'm not a patient person. So when an episode ends, it's really good. I don't want to wait till next week. Or even better yet, if you end on a season that ends really good, I don't wait till next fucking season. I'm just going to wait till the show's completely completed and, you know, sent out there. So that's my stance on TV shows in general. But this one is going to be a web series. The title is called Straight to Video, a B-Movie Odyssey. I don't know, we're going old school now, and this before I get going, don't think for a second that I'm doing a whole, like, this is kind of my idea and he stole it from, no, great minds think alike. Do you guys remember I had an idea for a video game? We're going way back. This may have been that first run before I went on a hiatus, where I had an idea for a video game where basically a guy gets sucked into the TV, or he had a DVD, he puts in the DVD player and he gets sucked into the TV. And then from there on out, he's going through different horror movies. And I always said I think it'd be an awesome video. Like, it's like my ultimate video game. Like, someone asked me, like, you know, if you can make your own video game, what it'd be like. And that'd be it. Well, this one takes that concept. And what the show's about is, you know, dude owns a video store, but like a video store today. So clearly nobody's renting anymore. And, you know, his girlfriend leaves him. He's in debt with the mob. And of course, the building is foreclosed on, but he still has all these DVDs. And, you know, he's thinking, like, what am I going to do? And he just decides, fuck it, and he just starts, you know, throwing gas everywhere. And then before he can light the match, though, like, this tape shows up. Or, like, Betamax. I don't know if it's Betamax. It's a weird-looking tape, but it comes through, and he fucking pops it in. And, of course, the voice on the other side is like, you're about to destroy the things that you loved. And now you must be punished. And he gets sucked into the TV, and he winds up in some random, like, B-movie slasher, which is clearly a nod to Jason. But it was like called, like, I don't know, Bunny Camp Massacre 3 or some shit like that. But anyways, the whole time he gets sucked in, you hear during the narration where he's, you know, describing everything, that now he's cursed and he has to, you know, go from, you know, B movie to B movie until he can break the curse. I think that's fucking awesome. I don't know. And it's very, I'm not gonna lie, it's extremely low budget. I mean, this is like, you know, as far as production value go, it's definitely like, you know, on that Z grade level. But I think the story is so good that it can actually propel this thing. So I don't know. I checked out the. They call it the pilot episode, but is this like a 5-minute little trailer thing? Oh, okay. Sorry, the sleep had to come up. I couldn't help it. But yeah, no, I'm gonna be looking forward to that. So it's called Straight to Video, subtitle A B-Movie Odyssey. So comes to the internet near you. Check it out. It was announced, this is just kind of really who gives a fuck category of news, but Chris Hemsworth is going to be in the female version of the Ghostbusters as a secretary. That's how wacky this one is. We're just going to reverse all the roles. I feel like it's a wasted role for Chris Hemsworth. I would much rather had him in the male version, but that's me. That's just me, but I'm sexist. What can I say? So, but yeah, I don't know. He's going to be a secretary, so there you go, guys. Chris Hemsworth. Last week, Uwe Boll dropped out. He dropped his video where he just went on this ridiculous rant about you know, Kickstarter being a joke and everything, and told everybody go, you know, told all the, you know, everybody out there who was not a fan of his and who did not donate any money to go fuck themselves. I believe the description even said go fuck your mother. I mean, it was, this dude went like nuts, right? And but he went nuts like 4 days before like the deadline. Which, because like, you know, I don't know, he didn't have nearly enough money, and people thought maybe it could be a publicity stunt or whatever. But I don't know. I found it funny. What's funnier though is the fact that, like, I don't know, like I'm not a big fan of Uwe Boll, but I just don't watch his movies. Like, that's how I win, is I just don't watch the fucker's movies. Or if I do end up watching one of his movies, I know ahead of time we're watching this for camp value alone. Like, I'm watching this as a joke. I had no idea he did Rampage. I remember when Rampage came out, and well, I can't really say I heard reviews because it wasn't really online or anything, but like a lot of people in my area was like all about it, and I was like, really? And they explained the, you know, the plot to me and everything, and I was like, yeah, it don't sound bad actually. And then I found it was Uwe Boll. I was like, oh, really? Oh, well, let me give it a shot. But yeah, I just found it funny that this dude, and then he would turn around in the same videotape, the same, you know, fucking video, and be like, I don't even have to do this. I have money. I can golf for the rest of my life. I'm like, no, you clearly do need money, because I'm sure whatever movie he's doing isn't going to be at that big of a budget. You know, probably like 10 grand. That's it. Believe me, if he had money to golf for the rest of his life, he would have money to fund this shitty movie. I didn't realize there was a Rampage 2 episode. He's doing Rampage 3, so... But there you go. So, if you guys are really diehard Rampage fans... Cut Uwe a check, please, and shut him the fuck up. I did like there was a video, Lloyd Kaufman did, where he was just kind of spoofing Uwe. Yeah, that was great. That's good stuff. Okay, so I saw a fan-made film over the weekend, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a good watch. It's like 2 hours and 25 minutes long, but it's a Derelict. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I have a few words I just can't ever say properly. And I'm not even drunk. I'll be sober, you know, as fuck, and I still can't pronounce them. Derelict. And then basically what it did was, this dude took Alien, the original Ridley Scott classic, and Prometheus. And he just kind of put them together. He spliced them together. And he definitely cut out, you know, a lot of, you know, parts of, you know, either movie. And then he shot it, or he basically turned it all black and white. And I like that concept of it, because I was like, well, yeah, because clearly, I mean, no matter how good Alien looks, it still has that like 1970s kind of grit to it, whereas Prometheus is polished new, you know, 2000 whatever. But yeah, so they put this out there, and whenever I came across it, like there, you know, a couple of the comments, your comments were like, oh, this is brilliant, the way it should be, and I kind of see why, you know, someone could try this, because I'm like, you know, Alien's fucking perfect on its own. Prometheus was near perfect, and now I was actually surprised that, you know, not so much now, but you know, when it came out, how polarizing the reviews were for Prometheus. People either really liked it or they just fucking shat on it, like it was just ridiculous, and I liked it. My problem with it was the crappy tacked on Alien reference they just throw in at the end. I just feel like that was literally, like, if you would have just left that whole thing out completely and just did a whole movie about, you know, mankind trying to find the origins of, you know, where they come from, that to me would have been a better movie just all around. I just felt like the ending just felt kind of rushed and almost like, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, is this what it felt like to me? It felt like Ridley kind of had his own idea for a movie, and maybe, I mean, I'm cool with even the connection, you know, the engineer, the spaceship, all that shit. I'm okay with that. It just felt like when we had to hurry up and quickly throw in the monster squid looking thing that came out of that chick, and quickly having, you know, I guess impregnate the engineer, and you can just tell it was, you know, we created the alien out of that. I just felt that it just felt tacked on to me. Now also, I have not seen that movie since it came out. Like, I bought it. Never watched the DVD, you know, because I bought it as soon as it came out, so I just threw it in collection. And so they said, like, you know, aside from also taking out a lot of stuff, I think they used alternate takes, too, in this fan film, which I couldn't tell one way or another, because, once again, I haven't seen it that much. But one thing I thought was interesting, because I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping for something new and profound watching this, you know, fan, you know, made movie together, and it's not. It's like watching a condensed version of Alien, and then watching the highlight reel of fucking Prometheus. In fact, it felt more good. Like the Alien, even when you took a lot of the scenes out, it still had a more coherent storyline. Whereas the Prometheus stuff was just kind of like, I don't know. It seemed like it was a highlight reel. That's what it felt like. The one thing that's interesting, though, is how similarly structured both films are. And you don't notice it, I guess, until you put them together. And it was almost like, not quite a mirror image, but it's almost just like in terms of beats, like, you know, they both arrive on, you know, a planet, and they, you know, both go investigate, and they both get attacked. And they just kind of, you know, do that. But yeah, it was fun if you got, you know, once again, you got to be committed, because that's a 2 hour, 25-minute watch. But if you got the time, I would say check it out. I'm not going to say it's going to change your world or blow your mind like that, but it was interesting to watch, so, you know. apparently, and I'm not sure how old this news is right here. This is actually something I didn't even get online. Someone told me about it, and now I've about verified it online. They're making a Don't Look in the Basement 2. That is fucking awesome. I love Don't Look in the Basement. I remember I bought a box set, and it was just, we all know the box sets, the, public domain horror box sets where, you get like 1 or 2 good movies and the rest of it's just usually shit. And that's what this one was. Like, it had Night of the Living Dead, so the reason I bought it was my first copy of Night of the Living Dead. And I was just pumped to have Night of the Living Dead. But it came with like 10, maybe even 20 movies on this box set. And I started watching them, and it's just a lot of crap. And I was like, son of a bitch. And I know I said just 2 movies. I mean, there was a couple good movies on there, a few, but like not much. And I just remember I get to Don't Look in the Basement, expecting just dog shit, and I was like, oh my god, and I loved it. Like, I thought to me that was like, one of the standouts in that box set. So, yeah, but the fact they're making a part 2, I'm like, oh, that's fucking awesome right there. And apparently it's going to be the original director's son. Like, he's going to be the one that's going to do it. I'm like, that's, hey, incredible. So, and, I hope it does good. I hope it does. I'm curious to see what it looks like. AMC is jumping in on this, horror video on demand type thing, and they're coming out with Shudder, which is going to be, just like video on demand, but for AMC. Apparently they've secured, I guess enough movies. I'm not sure if they're doing like original programming yet, or if they're going to, bust out some Walking Dead on that shit yet or not. But yeah, they're right now it's in the beta testing. And what they're doing, I guess if you can contact AMC.com, you can get like a free month and just to see what it's like or whatever the case may be. But then after that, there is a subscription fee, and it's a little steep. Which if they got a good selection, I can see maybe. I mean, especially if you watch a lot of horror movies now. If you're not, I don't know why you'd be watching this channel right now if you're not a horror fan. But if you're not a horror fan, I would probably stay away. But it does seem a little steep. I can't remember the price exactly, but it was like an additional. It'd be $15, which may not sound like a lot to some people, but to me, I'm like an additional $15 on top of what I'm paying for cable, on top of what I'm paying also for Netflix, on top of the other expenses I have. If I can hold out, I think I probably will. But I am curious to see what the lineup's going to be. So I don't know. I'm this close to maybe calling or hitting them up and be like, hey, hit me up for this beta test because I want that free month. See what it's like. See what you guys got to offer. But yeah, so there it is, guys. AMC Shudder. And finally, I already touched on it, when it happened and over the weekend and everything. But it's definitely worth mentioning again. Sir Christopher Lee passed away at age 93. My time up? Anyways, he passed away at age 93, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm the kind of guy that whenever a celebrity dies, I'm usually the first one to make a joke. Like Robin Williams, I just couldn't wait because I'm just not a big Robin Williams fan. I'm sorry, and I don't find it as disrespectful because I don't know the guy. You know what I mean? Like to me saying whatever I say regarding this dead celebrity doesn't mean shit because they're balling out of control. Like, the estate, the Robin Williams estate has, it's worth more than I'll ever make in my lifetime. On top of that, I don't know him personally. Now, if I bumped into Robin Williams at one point, or if I was friends with the family, yeah, I would never in a million years say something like that. If I had any connection to him at all, other than the fact that I, got a handful of his movies and I've seen, enough to say like I'm not a big fan, I would not say something, but typically, celebrity dies, I'm the first one on there, like, fucking making a joke or whatever. But there's a few handfuls that I just consider off limits. And, yeah, Mr. Lee is off limits for me. Like, I don't know, it sucked. But at the same time, I remember when I first read it, I was just like, holy shit, really? And I was hoping it was like a hoax, but then, like, it was breaking everywhere. And I was like, fuck. Like, IMDb had it, and all the horror, sites had it and everything. I was like, oh, shit. But I'm like, yeah, he was 93 fucking years old. And, like, he was not cut down, before his prime or nothing like that. Like, literally, the dude did his shit. I mean, who else can boast being in, like, Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and the James Bond saga? I mean, come on, the motherfucker's been in everything. And on top of that, I mean, in my opinion, and I'm not just saying because he's dead now, I mean, I've always said this, my favorite Dracula, hands down, the Hammer Dracula movies, were always better. And Wicker Man. Boom. Wicker Man should have him sealed for life right there. I mean, if you got Wicker Man underneath your belt, boom. Yeah, dude had a phenomenal career, and I just gotta say, thank you, Mr. Lee, for the memories. I mean, boom. There's always gonna be a spot, in this dark heart It's over here. Over here. I was like, oh, the reflection. Fuck it. Anyways, but yeah, no, I'm always going to, hold on to those, cherish those memories, because he's one of those actors I really did admire, because it seemed like he was one of the few who wasn't ashamed of horror. Like, you get a lot of people or celebrities who, get their start in horror, and they always seem a little embarrassed by it. Kevin Bacon. Jamie Lee Curtis, even though she did go back to Halloween eventually, it just seemed like they're almost just like, I'm too good for that. And, dude, he hit the A-list. I mean, fuck, he was working consistently in mainstream films until, whatever. Thanks to Tim Burton, mostly was helping him out. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, he jumped in there, like I said, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, whatever. And yet, he was never above horror. He never acted like he was embarrassed by it. You know what I mean? And I always dug that. I have a documentary over there, 100 Years of Horror. And it's a long, it's not really, I don't know, it's like a mini-series or something like that. But it's like fucking, 15 episodes. And each episode's like an hour, hour and a half. But, just breaking down the different, the history of horror, and then of course the different subgenres. And he hosted that, and dude, just like, you can just see it when he talks. Like, it's just something he cares about. He had passion for it. It wasn't just a paying gig for this guy. Like, he was a horror icon, and he embraced it. Much like Boris Karloff did. Boris Karloff, he never balked at the fact that he got, pigeonholed with horror. He embraced it. So, but yeah, I will no longer bring it up. I just, it was a big deal. I ain't gonna lie. I hated the fact that Lee passed. But you know what? We are horror soldiers, and we will soldier on like we always do. So, Mr. Lee, thank you for the memories. And yeah, that is it for horror news, guys. Once again, you guys got any? You want to talk about any of these topics? Hit me up. You can hit me up on Facebook. We can chat about it. I'm digging that now. I'm having a few more people like private message me on Facebook and like, hey, your thoughts are like this. These are my thoughts, and I'm like, yeah, it's cool. We're coming together. I'm digging it. And once again, guys, there's like 2 or 3 of them that dropped questions on the question of the week 2 weeks ago. I didn't get to. I am sorry yet again. Like I said, it was just I didn't get the notification up here. Like normally, that little thing goes off, and I just never got one. And then when I finally went to go back and investigate, I saw it. So did not dish you guys intentionally. Like I would never do that to you guys. So I promise you, boom, it will be on the next one. So all right, guys, movie fandom and.